standing there with $1,000,000. Good morning. I hope you are having a fantastic day today. Dave K here today. It feels like I've got blisters on the back of my feet, so that's a little bit uncomfortable. But otherwise, ready for a beautiful day in Edinburgh. There's so much to do, so much to see. My host was like, oh, do you want to make a coffee? And I'm like, oh, I'm going into the city. So I'm trying to see so much in so little time. He's very friendly though too. Everybody's very friendly. I can't put this on with one hand, but I'm hoping to go to the botanical garden today. I've got a Harry Potter walking tour scheduled, and we shall see what else gets done. I do have to give myself some credit. I think I've gotten a good bit done this past week, so I'm glad I had a chance to experience it. I've been thinking about some other sites in the area, so we shall see how the day stacks up. But onwards to Edinburgh. After we arrived on our bus here today, we've got this beautiful view of this little park area right in front of the National Galleries of Scotland, where we were recently. Oh, and it's Saturday, so they've opened up lower exhibits, haven't they? Oh no, it's Friday. So, and then we'll grab some food and we'll check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Newtown. We just passed that costa we visited the other day, making our way downwards to this morning's restaurant in the direction of the Botanic Gardens. And here we are at Poppy for breakfast. It is a small shop here, so I have this corner window. It seems like the menu is either on the wall behind us or on this QR code, but it wasn't that detailed on the QR code, so I tried to look at the wall. It's a little bit trickier, but yeah, at least I got a seat and I've got food on the way. Here we are this morning. You have your mocha coffee. I like the design this morning on this one. You got the little flower and fish, almost looks like, and your panini for the food item. Yeah, it looks all right. We'll see how it goes. So, Poppy was not bad in terms of the food. It was fine, but my bar for Scotland is getting high. So I'm like, I'll probably not go back there. I'll stay at Poppy for this trip. But I am making my way now to the Botanical Gardens. Should be right around the corner here. Botanic Gardens. East Gate, looks like. Making it right over here. Excited to check it out. Yeah, sandwich was pretty basic. Pictures look good online. So perhaps I just ordered the wrong thing, but let's check this one out. Easy bus rides and love the transportation around the city into the Royal Botanic Garden of Edinburgh. And just like that, here we are inside the Botanic Gardens. Admission is free. You can buy a map for £1. Looks like there might be one there as well. I'm going to start with some Scottish water. Perfect. Here's a look at this map live here. You are here. You can see we probably walked right in this way. It's a question of, well, honestly, it seems like perhaps either way we can get through. But the glass houses are closed, so you can see quite a bit. Cafe, rock garden. There's a couple cafes. Garden Beach Hedge. I'd like to see that. So which way is 2? 2 is all the way up to our right here. But is this path blocked off? I'm not quite sure. So we'll figure out our way around here. We have a bit of time before our Harry Potter tour, which I'm very excited for as well. Looks like perhaps their style of cherry blossoms. It says Yoshino Cherry right there as we try to figure out this maze. It's beautiful green landscape, but all kinds of different things in different directions. This one, experimental garden, so I'm just going to browse and again share probably the highlights. And a highlight for me at least, this woodlands style area is covering me from the winds, keeping me a little warmer, which certainly highlight in my opinion. The experimental garden here, you can see as you look around, there are some signs with different wildlife, different foliage, plants, flora, that and what they are, which is nice to see. This little rock structure here spoke to me. Just kind of walked into it. You can see almost seems like a bench seating area amongst the foliage. This tree reminds me a bit of something you might see in the animal kingdom, although not sure if it naturally grows like that or if they perhaps cut off some branches. Kind of looks more like that, doesn't it? But nice to see. Following this wheelchair accessible path to what I thought was the rock garden, it looks like there's some steps up this way. You can get a higher view. I certainly feel that I should do that. I see people walking in grassy parts as well, so I think this is open, but we'll take a look around. Perhaps this is the rock garden, I'm not quite sure, but it's a nice aerial view indeed. I mean, not Calton Hill nice, but certainly a nice view from any of these directions. We have here the high road and the low road. We have the bridge here. Underneath it, the water flowing below down to that little waterfront. Walk down by the water on that side. It's a beautiful little botanic garden. Indeed. I'll show you that waterfall live. Over that way. Oh, that's a beautiful picture too. And over this way, what it flows into. Very nice. I am always following the high road here and the rocky path. You can see this view, what it nets us from above here. Again, it's a beautiful spot. Nice to enjoy taking the nature, the natural formations here. And certainly worth dropping by if you enjoy these sorts of sights. Although, is it clear, the steps are a little bumpy. Indeed. Honestly, you can see it's quite nice, quite remarkable how nice the grass is to walk on here. You know, Scotland has some amazing golf courses, and I can see why now. I mean, again, people are just walking on this all day, and it looks beautiful. And then you have that roped off area, and the grass is a bit longer, but also looks like very nice grass. It's very level and smooth beneath my feet here. And that certainly adds to the atmosphere. Peaceful and relaxing, indeed. Wow, when you really take in some of the detail, some of the beauty of some of these plants, like this one right here, look at those spots on it. Absolutely beautiful, relaxing. Smells fantastic. Certainly a peaceful and relaxing place. I could just see chilling for a bit, enjoying a reasonably nice day. Really enjoying all the beauty here, and I've come across, as you know, one of my favorite things to find in any park, a beautiful bench. Oh yes, take a look at that. It looks less wet than the other day, so maybe we'll give this one a shot. We shall see. So I've spent a good bit of time sitting here, just relaxing, taking it all in, you know, not the particularly incredible flora or anything like that in this particular spot. Really enjoying the relaxation, the atmosphere, appreciating life, appreciating being able to share it all with you, so thank you. And appreciating taking a break, taking a moment, just soaking it all in, stopping and smelling the roses, if you will. It's nice. I saw a couple people stop for photos of these beautiful flowers. You can see them right over here. It looks nice in this otherwise generally green space. You got some pretty pink ones right here. And these are called, it would seem, water lilies. That sounds pretty common, actually. And there's a section here where they're leaving no mow. You know, they're watching the grass grow, letting it grow longer for wildlife, things like that. Bees. And otherwise, very cool to see. Nice, just a variety. You know, this feels almost like a park. It's very, very peaceful. Not a whole lot of, it's not like back to back. There's an arboretum section, I believe. I'm not sure if that's open. It seemed like it was closed. So nice to walk through this peaceful park, really. All right, and here's the latest map. You are here. I'm not sure what I spotted of those items. And it says there are. Just kind of walked around, browsed recreationally. I think I might check out this middle area. And I recall wanting to check out number 2 over there. So we'll see if we can maybe make our way this way. Head over to Beach Hedge, I believe it is. And there is another cafe on the west gate, but I think we'll check that one on the way back, the way out. For now, head towards the middle. You know what? Since this is the path anyways, and we're here, let's check out this one by the west gate. Seems like a very large cafe here. We'll see what kind of options they have since we are passing by. And very nice foliage around here as well. If you look at that, certainly longer plants indeed. If nothing else, it'll be nice to step indoors for the purposes of warming up. And here we are in this beautiful 2-story, seems like, garden viewing area. You know, some almost like museum type history stuff over here. We'll see what's upstairs. And then nice glass in the middle with a beautiful view. Almost like a, what do you call it? A greenhouse. Very cool exhibits in here too. Check this one out. You've got a combination of the screens and like physical what attraction here would you call it, or physical exhibit. Wow, it looks really cool. It's nicely put together. And a map of the area of Edinburgh from a foliage perspective. It would seem the purple being awesome upland. And you know, we went to, I don't even see it on here, Calton Hill. This is Blackford Hill. Maybe this is a sign. We need to check out some other ones. I know Arthur's Seat is cool to see, so I'm gonna try to make that happen at some point as well. And check out this view of the little pond just outside our window here. You can sit back, relax in some of these chairs, and enjoy the waterfront viewing. There's quite a bit to see in here, and they have internet. What a nice setup, indeed. And back this way, it seems like we have a very floral gift shop and a greenhouse outside there. Cool to see. So in this greenhouse, a bit different than I might expect, you can buy some plants to grow in your yard, it would seem, right? As opposed to, well, there are some active ones in the back as well, but very cool to see. Seeds, in case you're looking to grow something. Up the staircase here, and look at this nice winding staircase for a quick peek at the Garden Cafe. Nice little variety of options here, but I really love the aesthetic. If you look at the ceilings here, it certainly seems like a botanic garden, and I'll step outside for viewing that area too. I thought a balcony viewing area seemed very, very nice, and would you look at that? I looked down at that beautiful pond, if you will, that we were looking at from inside. It almost feels more temperate now too, not as windy. Perhaps the building is breaking the wind for us here, so watch out in case you smell the building breaking some wind. And here we are. We have that beautiful view indeed. Looks like we found the Terrace Cafe here as well. Take a quick peek, and maybe that house gallery up ahead as well. You know, I'm realizing after browsing both of these places that I'm not really hungry. I just had a good amount of lunch, but nice to see the options they have here as I'm touring the area. So here is this Inverleigh house, but it almost just looks like somebody's house. There's no handle from the doors here. It looks pretty empty. I was downstairs too, and it didn't look like much, so maybe we'll just move on here. And I'm probably looking in the general direction of Calton Hill, I think, back there. Because if you look closely up this way, you can see that monument we saw, the spiraling one that we saw from Calton Hill. Very cool. If I recall correctly, that harp is a lyra. It's called a lyra. I'm not quite sure why it's in a cage up here. Maybe I'll take a look at this one as I'm passing by. So here it is, Aeolian Harp Pavilion. You've got the harp inside this this cage. Again, not quite sure the background here. If you know, feel free to let us know. But there it is. And this is the area that I believe is temporarily closed. It's either the Queen's Memorial Garden or maybe that other area on the map. What was it, like a arboretum or something? But they're working on this area, and you can see it's gonna look beautiful, but not currently available. Keep making our way towards the couple more things I wanted to see in this area before we head to the Harry Potter walking tour. Wow, this is a beautiful view right here. I'm not sure if this is the herbaceous border and beech hedge right here, but you can see you can walk right through the middle there. But otherwise, totally sealed up with probably a herbaceous edge. Or beech hedge, I don't know. Nice to see, and we're gonna step in there and see what that's like. Stepping through that hedge, you feel like you're exiting the garden, but it seems like you're not. It's interesting how it starts to become more buildings back this way, and we'll see if there's any interesting information on those. Another beautiful part of the garden here. It almost seems like, in short, just wander around and you can't lose. This is very cool too, with the scarecrow out there, this little cottage. I believe this is the entrance from this side. So I might wander around, see if there's anything interesting as we make our way back towards the west gate, and then perhaps make our way to Harry Potter. Okay, so a couple of confusing signs actually. You've got path open to Queen Mother's Memorial Garden and Alpine Houses. Return this way to exit. Okay, great. And then weekend access only. The Queen Mother's Memorial Garden and Alpine House are closed on weekdays while we restore our glass houses. So I'm not sure if they're calling Friday weekend or what, but I'll browse. A nice little garden loop here too. Kind of a circle with that X in the middle. Is it a Scotland symbol? Is it a subtle Scotland message? Perhaps not, but still a nice formation. So yes, it seems like at least a bit of the Queen Mother's Memorial Garden back here. Glad we're getting a chance to see it. Wow, and here we are, this little pavilion with the memorial signage and all, with the timelines and such. On the ceiling, perhaps, a Scottish flag. You can read the text. Interesting how you've got a few characters on top of each other. See like ER there, or TT, or OV. Really, really nice though, honoring Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mother, 1900 to 2002. That is a good bit of time, indeed. We've got time for this one more stop here, the Alpine House. Check that one out. Looks like we can walk right inside. That will be interesting, indeed. Here we are inside the Alpine House. Look at that foliage that may remind you a lot more of the desert. It says planting the tufa wall here. Gives you some information on that. If you read it, then you're ahead of me, because I haven't read it yet. And yeah, it's nice. It's a much more, what do you call it? Brown exhibit, right? It looks like it would be more dry and stony. And that is accurate, it seems, to provide protection from winter dampness right there. So well illuminated, but protection from the wet, which makes sense, at least looking at these sorts of plants. One more beautiful alpine area here, and it does seem I'll need to make my way to Harry Potter before long, but it's nice to check this one out. And perhaps I can grab a walking meal in case I get hungry, because I think I'm starting to come around. Maybe I can grab something from like one of those coffee shops or something along those lines for a coffee and a sandwich for the road. Didn't seem like as much to-go options here, but I may look again. We shall see. This is very nice. This reminds me more of a standard botanic garden, but these plants are so much smaller, and some of them are really beautiful. Like, look at that one right there. Happen to love that one. And this side, again, looks a little bit more of the grays, is it? This is the colorful side, the pinks over here, and the yellows. So it has been a beautiful time here at the Botanic Garden. So glad I had a chance to check it out. Now, let's make our way to that Harry Potter walking tour. One more beautiful view here. The place is massive, and there's so much to see. So I'm sure I could come back and see more if I wanted to, but only so much time in the area.
She shares this space with Ian Rankin, who's another very famous Scottish literary figure. So the idea being that people look at the clock tower, they'll panic, run to the train station, catch their train just on time. However, in reality, people look at the clock tower, take their phone out and say that clock's wrong. They sell 2,700 tickets. Many people think it's a street in York called the Shambles, which is a very tight Tudor street.
On the Harry Potter tour here, I feel like I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. It's interesting. It's not bad. I feel like I've seen a lot of these things. I'm not seeing as much alignment to Harry Potter, and also yeah, it's okay. I preferred the other tour, I think, and I'm thinking about perhaps changing course here. They're just going to be done with this one shortly, so I may end up trying to grab food and trying to catch some museums before closing. Still TBD. In my opinion, one of the more interesting things on the Harry Potter tour here was the museum on the Mound, believed to have inspired Gringotts. And it's windy out here, so hopefully you can hear me. So I'm going to see if I can check this museum out, but you can definitely see on the face how it could inspire Gringotts. Also interesting, too, to hear about the fact she stayed in the hotel behind this one, and a few other details, which were interesting to learn about, but I don't know, it was not bad. Here we are, maybe one of my last chances to catch the museum on the Mound. We want to take a look inside, and I think it's up this way, although it could be down that path. There's quite a bit of walking paths here. We'll figure it out though. I'm glad I'm catching it because everything closes at 5, so. Really enjoyed that banking museum there. I don't know what it is. History of money. Just look at all that cash. Doesn't hurt. I did finally crack that code, and I got some postcards. If you're looking at postcards, that's a little gifty for cracking the code of that safe there in the money museum. All kinds of cool stuff. I was really interested in house affordability. Look at that cross, by the way. I don't know if I saw that earlier. All kinds of cool stuff. Certainly enjoyed. Glad I stopped in the Mound. One more time, again, not sure I missed this one before. Maybe you've seen it. I just didn't notice it myself. Looks like a Poet's Corner kind of gravestone, tomb there. Nice to see. And now that I've properly skipped lunch because I had no time, let us find dinner. I don't know how someone comes up with the idea to make something like this, you know?
I know, and they've taken a lot of time over it. I mean,
yeah. All right, now I've also visited the world's smallest museum, where I saw the skin wallet. Some bad people, and they turned his skin into a wallet after he died. So, kind of twisted there. Also amazing to see $1 million. What the heck, $1 million in the, what is it? The Museum on the Mound. Standing there with $1 million. Well, £1 million, if you'll excuse me. All kinds of souvenir shops along the way, and I think I'm gonna go ahead right there and grab some fish and chips and share that with you. It's Castle Rock Takeaway. So maybe I can, I doubt I can eat it there. Reading the name now, but we shall see. That being said, this one was recommended by a couple of people, including that previous tour guide. So I feel like I gotta check it out. All right, Castle Rock does look like it's solely takeaway style, but that's all right. I can grab it and eat it on the bus maybe. OMG, take a look at that deep fried Mars bar. And then I'm waiting for this wind here. Fish and chips with cheese and curry. That looks freaking huge, massive, incredible. We're gonna give it a shot and let you know what we think. Maybe I'll try a bite here, or maybe I'll try it later. Y'all, that deep fried Mars bar is not healthy. Certainly not healthy, but it's tasty. Also, you cannot put that one on us. That is not an American creation. You did that. You did that here, UK. It's tasty though. But I don't think we even have Mars bars, do we? But it's a nice one. Honestly, I'm really happy with the fish and chips. Probably more sugar than I need in the Mars bar, but certainly worth a try. So I'm glad I tried it. Probably wouldn't get it again, but the fish and chips is very good. I would certainly go back for the fish and chips here. Up there, perhaps, with some of the best that I've had. Really beautiful, huge piece of fish. Very smooth and tasty, soft to chew through. I like it. And as everything seems to close around 5 here, I'm gonna make my way back. And, ladies and gentlemen, I have checked in to my latest Airbnb, sort of. I came by and dropped my bags off a bit early. Host was kind enough to allow me to do so. Even made me a cup of coffee, which was very nice. Chatted for a bit, and he's going to get the room and all that jazz ready. By the way, these walking paths are quite funny. He's gonna get the room ready while I go grab some food. And fortunately, I found a place that I can walk to with sandwiches and such. So nice to be in there. It's a new home, very, very nice. You're allowed to be staying in. It's the first one I've seen in the United Kingdom, or at least in Scotland, with an extractor, a bathroom fan. That is very nice indeed. Also, I heard the dishwashers weren't too common, so very glad to see that here as well. It's very nice to stay in a new home in Scotland. And a little convenient stretch here. And there's bus stops too, which is nice, but a convenient stretch. You've got Greg's and you've got Spar. So groceries and quick sandwiches, at least, if not bakery. We'll give them a shot. It'd be nice to have a little something here this morning. Here we are. Closer look. It is literally these two shops, Greg's and Spar. So we got something. This will be perfect for today here at Greg's. We have the southern fried chicken baguettes. We have the wedges, as you call them, and then we have the pumpkin spice latte. Apparently, any drink here with this meal deal. It's a little over £5. What it wound up being. Yeah, pretty happy with that. We're going to dig in. Take a look at that baguette here. It'll certainly get the job done today. I'm really glad they had something walkable because I didn't have time to go to town. Let's do it. So, at Greg's, the food quality gets fine, not bad, solid. I'm thinking, now I'm in my head reflecting, comparing it to cruise food. I think I preferred it to a lot of the cruise food. But there's a couple things I really liked about Greg's. The variety, the meal deals, again, and the price. A little over £5 for the coffee pumpkin spice latte flavored, the sandwich, and the wedges. It's nice, And in terms of the variety, I can go back sometime for goujons, if I want them, chicken nuggets, if you will. Different type of sandwich, hot or cold. I could replace the coffee, for example, with like their Powerade equivalent or one of the other beverages. So many options. So certainly a spot I would go back to if I had other fast-paced days in the future. But if and when I have more time, probably go somewhere where it's maybe a little bit fancier, a little bit more expensive, but also nice, tasty, unique quality dishes, like that beef brisket, eggs benedict, or things like that. And we should have more time in the coming days. Been going out most mornings, and now we're coming up on a weekend, so I'll have some full days to go out and enjoy, and I'm excited to share that with you. See you there. And it's time for an evening snack, and still the place with the best reviews over 4 stars and still open is indeed Greg's again. We've got the hazelnut hot cocoa and the baguette here, £3.60. So it doesn't seem like the wedges actually really save you anything. So I'm glad the wedges weren't available. I'm like, oh, what's the deal with the mozzarella bites? She's like, actually, I think it's just a sandwich and a drink that gives you a deal. And it practically makes this 30 pence. They're £2.40 hot cocoa, the hazelnut hot cocoa. So I'm really glad I figured that one out. With the chicken and veg bhaji here was the last so left. That was hot, at least. So nice to have it for dinner this evening. So Greg's round 2, the chicken and veggie bhaji. Spicy. Not bad at all. Not too spicy. That hazelnut hot cocoa was like, ooh, nice spot. I like it. I mean, again, pretty solid, but the price is fantastic. And there's a nice bit of options. Again, half an hour before closing. Still able to get some decent stuff, so glad I dropped by twice. And that concludes today's fun-filled adventures. So, thanks so much for helping me make it an amazing day. That being said, there are some pubs, but I think I'm good, Not much of a night pub goer kind of thing. Thanks so much for helping make it an amazing day. Don't forget to make your day an incredible day as well. Focus on the positive vibes. Look for the silver lining. Hit that thumbs up button because you know you liked it. Subscribe. And until next time, play on.